Just going to hit record. So yeah, welcome everybody. My name is Doug Godkin. I'm one of the partners with Ameo Life, and got one of my other partners here, Ralph Malone, who's joining us tonight. And you've all heard Dina's amazing voice here for the last few minutes. So Dina will be working with us. Dina works on the wholesale team at Ameo Life, and we just wanted to get everybody or extend this invite tonight because there's a lot of questions in regards to Ameo Life products, and we wanted to just take some time to answer those questions. This isn't a sales pitch by any means. This is us just coming together as people that are interested in our health, things that we can be doing. I won't be giving medical advice or anything. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor. So please understand that there's certain things that we can and cannot say, or certain questions that we may or may not be able to answer. But please bring your questions, bring your comments, and this is a safe place to ask those questions, and we welcome everybody to this. And Ralph, do you want to just give a quick intro for yourself there?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Ralph Malone, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. That's home for me. I'm the CEO of Ameo Life, and we've been at this going on since 2018. Doug and I have been partners with Paul Hershey, and our main focus is just one by one, person by person, growing the health and wellness community. And so we're so glad to have each of you be a part of it as a customer to us. And we like to look at it as more than just the products. It's about a lifestyle that we're trying to promote, that other healthy protocols, whether it's your diet, whether it's exercise, and other wellness related things. And again, we, as Doug was just mentioning, we want to create a real robust exchange here and continue to grow that. And that's, been our focus throughout.
You didn't make any.
Well, I don't really care if we go there or not. Like these Manitowoc.
Rena, can you please?
No, she muted. She muted. She's good. So, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And again, we value each of you, and then also because at the end of the day, we've been able to grow as much from a lot of your efforts as it's been our own efforts, because we realize it's one person becoming a customer, and then that customer ends up bringing family members, friends, and others in. So we really appreciate the network that has been created and also the network that is yet to be created. So thank you for your partnership.
Thanks, Ralph. So to get things started, when we look at Ameo Life and we look at Ameo Life products and we try to figure out, okay, what place do we play in people's wellness? And there's countless health supplements on the market today, and there's countless health supplements that all say they do different things, and they act in different parts of health. Where we come from a standpoint is foundational health. Is this, what do we need to give the body for the body to function at its highest level? So when we look at, and there's a big misconception, I'm going to say, in the health and wellness space. And when we all see different advertisements on Facebook every day, and Google and all over the internet, you take this product, it's going to fix such a condition. But there's a big misconception on that. This product right here, whether it's this product or probiotic or silver, this isn't the healing, treating, curing machine. The body is the healing, treating, curing machine. And we're all created with an immune system. We're all created with a body that rejuvenates and regenerates itself. What we need to be able to do is give the body what the body needs so that the body can command those functions. So when we look at coming to health and wellness from a supplementation standpoint, it's getting the body those purest, finest essential nutrients, vitamins, minerals, trace minerals into the body so that the body can function and heal itself at its highest level. So we come at this from a very simplistic approach with silver, or structured silver, which naturally combats yeast and bacteria, fungus and mold, and cleanses the body of those. Is it healing the body? No, but is it putting the body into a place where the body can rejuvenate itself? Absolutely, yes. And one of our newest offerings is our humic and our fulvic trace minerals. And there's a lot of different humic and fulvic products on the market. One of the big differences that we've been able to establish with this product line is if we think about the United States for a second, because humic and fulvic trace minerals are basically rare earth plant life deposits. So if we think of the vegetation in Florida versus the vegetation in New York or Nevada or Washington State, those are all different geographical areas which have different plant life. So if we think back thousands of years or however old we want to think the earth is, back to when these ancient plant lives were buried within the sediments of the earth, all of these different plant lives had different mineral complexes. So what we're doing with the humic and the fulvic is we're actually extracting from all of the different regions and creating a blend of humic and fulvic minerals that gives a very rich and diverse mineral content with that. So with that, what we're able to do is these will actually help break down the foods in the digestive system, bring the nutrients into the cells for helping with cellular regeneration, but also pulling the toxins out of the cells and getting them out of the body. So when we're looking at wellness as in general, it's how do we create this restoration of the body? And then how we look at it is getting these compounds, these vitamins, minerals, herbs, botanicals from the earth, not thinking that we can do something better with these, but realizing that the way that these were created in their most natural state is how they were developed to substantiate a healthy life. So myself, Ralph, my other partner, Paul, when we're looking at supplementation, when we're looking at bringing in new products to our customers, we look at it through a really stringent lens of how do we maintain, how do we harvest, how do we gain these raw materials, and how do we get them into a product without thinking that if we tweak something or if we combine it with the wrong material, or if we think that we can do something better than creation, we can actually provide a better response from the body. So what we've learned is by sort of us taking our egos out of this and saying, okay, how do we get these to the body? How do we make sure that we're doing it, that we're not going through a manufacturing process that heats, boils, fries, and we can do a whole presentation one night on how supplements are made, and it would probably scare a lot of people when we think about, the nefariousness in our food chain and, the chemicals that we're eating. In a lot of supplements nowadays, we're seeing those same compounds making their way into the supplement space. So the way that we approach the supplementation, the way that we approach manufacturing and bringing products to our customers is through a very stringent process to make sure that they are active, they're energetically working, and that they're going to deliver the most healthy response for the body. So that's a quick us in a nutshell. And
Okay, why don't you tell them really quick about our facilities in terms of, I've seen some facilities that are just but I think it's so important, that our certifications and so forth that we have.
Yeah, we're making sure that everything we do is to the highest level. And when we look at
GMP, that's what I meant.
supplements, GMP is the standard that health supplements are supposed to be made at. There's a lot of facilities that actually aren't, that we're running everything through the proper testing. Believe it or not, when you're making a supplement and you bring an ingredient in for that supplement, you actually have to quarantine that ingredient for 10 days. It's not like a lot of people think that making supplements is actually a very easy process. It's actually a very in-depth process from the time that you source raw ingredients to a finished product is actually completed. So we make sure that we're running the absolute highest standards in our manufacturing process, in our third-party lab testing process, that we're testing for all of the right things and making sure that, you know, the product that somebody gets on their doorstep is actually as that product is meant to be. And like I say, there's a lot of craziness in the supplement industry that, you know, sometimes it begs to question, you know, actually what it is that we're taking in this day and age. So that's a kind of a quick down and dirty. And like I say, I'm just going to get through this fairly quickly so that we can turn over to a question and answer session as well. So I'm sharing my screen here and just showing the Ameo Life website because there's something I wanted to show everybody that not everybody knows about. But right under the top, we've got a section called Learn and Engage. And below that, we've got an ingredient glossary. And I could spend hours talking and teaching about the products and getting into the ingredients and why we formulate and why we do the things we do. But this is just a really quick place for people to come and actually choose any product that they would like to see. And this, let me just refresh this. And they can choose that product. I got something's going on with my site here. I got to look at it, but we can actually choose any product. So this is our multivitamin. And what that's going to tell us is every single ingredient, what this product is, what the environmental working score on that product is. Is it a vitamin? Is it a mineral? Where is that derived from? So anybody that really wants to take a deep dive into the products and a deep dive into the ingredients, we've got this here on this page for anybody to do their research. And we get into every single ingredient, whether it's a supplemental ingredient or it's something that's required to make that product, is all going to be right here in this resource for people to be able to see. So I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because we got a lot of people that are saying, you know, what is this? What is that? Why this ingredient? Why that ingredient? Where does this ingredient come from? So this is a resource that we've built out for everybody to be able to see that. Secondary is a lot of people will ask us, how do we use the products? What are they good for? And this is another resource that we've built out for people to be able to have a quick guideline. You know, for instance, our structured silver solution. A lot of people are like, what do I use silver for? What's the purpose of it? Here's a quick place to come and look and find this information. And I'm sorry, it's my screen is just there.
We can see it pretty clear on our end, Doug.
Okay, I was just coming to the drop downs here to get the further information on this, as well as we've got all of the ingredients on this section as well for all of the products.
Actually, why don't you leave it on that screen? Because John Raymond just asked an important question. If you can go down where it says structured water, John Raymond is asking, I'm just wondering, what is a chemical name for your structured water in which the alkaline silver is suspended? Regular water is H2O. What is yours? Would you be able to answer that, Doug?
This would be an AG404. So we've got this. So when we look at structured water, the easiest way to think about that is a snowflake. And if we all remember when we were kids and we were cutting snowflakes out of paper and we'd bring that out and unfold it, and we've seen snowflakes. A structured water molecule looks like a snowflake as compared to if we look at a purified water or a distilled water, it's going to be more of a circular object. So when we look at a structured water molecule, what we're able to do is actually bond the silver molecules within the oxygen molecules of the structured water compound. And what that does is it basically it creates an ability for the silver to recharge itself because we're firing electrons cross side to side, up and down. Let's say I'm just trying to create mental pictures here. So those silver particles will remain charged the entire time of the body. Whereas if we look at an older technology, colloidal silver, for instance, that's a silver silver molecule that's not suspended in a water molecule, in many cases, they'll actually run themselves out of energy by the time they hit the digestive system.
Great info. Thank you for answering that, Doug. I'll let you know if there's any further ones.
For sure. For sure. So what we're trying to do is within our website is create a resource for people to be able to find out as much information on the products as we can. As well, within each of the product pages, we've got the ingredients section. I'm shocked in this day and age at actually how many supplement companies don't prominently display their supplement facts panels, or for that matter, won't display the other ingredients. And when we're looking at health supplements, the absolute most important thing to look at on a health supplement is the health supplement facts panel. When we look at different products that are on the market nowadays, many consumers have been, I'm going to say, trained through media and through advertising to buy the front of the label. And what I mean that is the claims, the doctor approved, all of the different marketing pieces, let's say, that show up on the front of a label that actually don't tell you how good a supplement is. So when we look at manufacturing health supplements, it's like anything else in the market today. When we look at foods, when we look at automobiles, when we look at clothing, when we look at anything, you know, there's different layers of quality that come into that. So when we look at raw ingredients, for instance, that go into making health supplements, there's good, better, and best when you're looking at ingredients. And what constitutes a good versus a better versus a best ingredient is where it's sourced, how it's treated, how old that ingredient is there a preservation process that comes into that ingredient, the geographical location where that ingredient is sourced from. The collagen market is a prime example that there is just an absolute boatload of poor ingredient in the collagen market. So when we're looking at supplements, and like I say, the most important thing to always look at is the supplement facts panel. I'm just trying to find out where my camera is. And that's the side panel that tells you
I'm gonna get y'all to take some of that to the house.
ingredient is. Somebody's talking.
What?
Can we mute your phones and your computers,
Oh.
please?
Oh, yeah, I gotta see. I don't know if he can come all the way to Montgomery, though.
They're just excited. That's it.
President and all of growth. But understand this, clearly, come on to me. Understand this.
I don't know, we gotta figure out.
There we go.
Thank you.
No problem. So back to the supplement facts panel is when we're looking at different health supplements, and like I say, constituting what's a good, a better, a best supplement on the market. You can look at and see the different nutraceutical ingredients, but what really tells me and what we look at from a company that actually cares about your health to a company that's just mass producing supplements, you know, at an inexpensive price to get them into the market, is always look at the other ingredients. And that's the section that's going to be below the nutraceutical ingredients. And that's where we see, you know, there's sugars, there's all sorts of different chemicals and preservatives that are put into supplements nowadays to maintain shelf life. But when we look at our body and we look at our wellness, it's the chemicals, it's the ingredients, it's the compounds that are non-natural that we're having these health problems with, and that we're trying to get out of our bodies and we're trying not to put into our bodies. So when we look at supplements, we want to make sure that none of these nasty or nefarious chemicals are making their way into it, because what they're going to do is they're going to hamper the supplement's ability to help restore the body, but they're also going to feed, you know, that yeast, that bacteria, those different pathogens that are causing us to be sick in the first place. So this is just something I always want to call out when talking to people, is really truly pay attention to the ingredients, the other ingredients, and the compounds that are going into these supplements to truly know if this is a supplement that you actually want to take, or you know, a company that you want to engage with.
Doug, because you have a focus on the probiotic right now, Beatrice Nieto's asking this question, but I do want to bring some clarification. She's asking, does a turmeric have pepperine in it? Well, this isn't a turmeric product per se, it's a probiotic, but I'm going to let Doug answer that question in a little bit more detail. Does our probiotic, should be the question, have pepperine in it? Because it's not just a turmeric product. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, we just source from the actual turmeric root. And what we're looking for is the anti-inflammatory properties from the turmeric. So the pepperine, no, just straight turmeric. And we actually, it's not the curcumin side of the turmeric as well.
Thank you. Beatrice, does that answer your question? It was a great response, Doug. I think people, I do know the importance of having pepperine, which is pepper, black pepper with turmeric, but this just isn't a turmeric product. It's everything works synergistically with the ingredients that the team has chosen to make this probiotic. I don't know if black pepper would actually have a good effect on a gut issue. So,
well, and there's some people that when they're on their healing journey, black pepper can be a little bit premature to be introducing as well. So with the approach that we took with the probiotic is we wanted to first and foremost get the microbiome starting to rebuild. And when we look at the MB40, which is the blend of pre and probiotics that are in this, basically it's a spore-based probiotic that actually wakes up in the hot and acidic environment in the digestive system. So these spores are laying dormant until they reach the digestive system. Many probiotics on the market are actually destroyed by the heat in the digestive system and have a very low or short time of activity. We've got studies on these that were still 80% active after 12 hours in the digestive system. But what we wanted to make sure with this probiotic is not only that we were rebuilding the digestive flora, but we were helping with an inflammatory response. We were pulling the toxins out of the body with the psyllium and the inulin, and we were actually lubricating the bowels because a lot of people just aren't moving and going to the bathroom like they should be. And we need to get the bowels lubricated so it can start to push those toxins out of the body. So we wanted to make sure that this was a real gentle probiotic that was easy on the body and starts that reconstructive or that correction process in the digestive system. I hope that answers that question.
yeah, it does. Thank you, Doug. I'll let you know if there's any further questions.
For sure. So that's kind of a quick sort of 101 as far as what to look at from a health supplement standpoint, as far as what to look at when you're grading supplements that you're looking at, or if you're looking at any different brands or different products on the market. And one of the other things I'll say too is a lot of people are actually over supplementing nowadays too. Dina, you talk to a lot of people and I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, and I hear people taking 10, 20, 30 different health supplements. And then, you start doing the math at $30, $40 a bottle, and I think that's a lot of money. And one of the things that, we try to encourage people to do is start to reduce the amount of supplements that you're taking, because when you're over supplementing, you're actually putting additional workload on your immune system and on your digestive system. And a lot of these supplements are actually just going through the body and passing down through the toilet. So if we start to look at everything starting with our digestive system, let's give our digestive systems as much of a break as we possibly can. Let's cleanse that digestive system and rebuild supplementation very slowly. And I find that in a lot of cases, a lot of people can be very healthy and working in a great direction with 2 or 3 of the right supplements rather than in a huge load of different supplements. And the other side is where people are, when I'm talking to different people and, I say, well, why are you taking this or why are you taking that? Well, my friend said I need to take this, or Dr. Google said I need to take this, or I saw this amazing ad on Facebook that says I need to be taking this. And we're just, barraging our digestive system with all of this. And then we're trying to course correct it where we're actually putting our bodies in the wrong direction.
Doug, a quick question. I have one from Melina, but I get this question asked from a lot of clients and I have a personal response to it. But, you know, our line, I like to say it's a small line, but it's an effective line. But if there's one product out of all the products that we manufacture, what product would you recommend as hands-on everyday use? What would that be? And that could be personal or that could be from the perspective of the company. I'm just curious.
My personal is the fulvic minerals that I take every day. And here's why. You know, predominantly our past and where we've came from and everything is we've been a very strong silver-based company. And, you know, this is the most advanced silver on the market today. I use the silver a lot, but if I'm looking for that one product that I use every day, it's the fulvic minerals. And here's why, is it gives me all of my essential minerals every day, 65 plus trace minerals. It helps break down the foods in my digestive system. It helps bring the nutrients to my cells and it helps cleanse the cells. So if I'm looking at one thing in our entire product line that's going to have the most rounded amount of usage, it's this. For anybody that's taking collagen, and we can provide you with this information, and I don't think it's on the site, but I can get it to anybody. There's studies that have been done on the fulvic that actually, when we look at, so this is going to stimulate collagen production as well. So a lot of people are thinking, hey, I need to take a collagen supplement. But let's take a step back from that for a second, because our body naturally produces collagen. As we age, as we lack the amount of water and hydration that we need on a daily basis, our body's collagen production slows down. So the collagen market has just blossomed over the last couple of years, saying take collagen supplements and, you know, that'll all be good. But let's go back to thinking about our body itself as the healing, treating, curing machine again for a second, and realize that nutrients and proper nutrition is giving the body what it needs. So there's studies that have been done on the humic and fulvic, for instance, that increase hair health, increase nail growth by 110%, increase collagen production by, I think it's 65%. So when we look at what people are taking collagen supplements for, they're actually getting that same benefit with the humic or with the fulvic minerals, because they're giving the body's ability to have the body kickstart collagen production again. So long answer to the question, Milena, but you know, my everyday is the fulvic. And what I do every morning is I actually put 2 dropperfuls of the humic in my coffee every morning. And it's now the best tasting cup of coffee I've ever had in my life. I'm once again mineralizing and energizing that cup of coffee with the humic. And I think a lot of people have seen me do light bulb tests where I'm testing different supplements and the energy of different supplements with a light bulb. And I don't have it set up here tonight, but the next time I will, where I'm actually showing the electrical conductivity within the power of the supplements. And that's showing, you know, if we can light a light bulb up with these, just think about what it's doing for all of the electrical impulses in our body that control our heart and our brains and our lungs and our eyes and everything for our body to function every day.
So Doug, that question was asked, but then Melina did ask a question and you kind of addressed it, but I'm just going to make it really clear so that Melina knows that we're acknowledging her question. So Melina says, we see a lot of ads for Prevagen, Nariva, and other products that promote brain health. Does Ameo Life have a comparable supplement that's geared towards those 50 plus? Looks like there's 2 components to that question, Melina, because our products are designed for all ages. But specifically a product for brain health. I know what mine is. What is yours, Doug? If you can suggest something for brain health.
So I'm gonna step just outside of Ameo Life for 1 second to truly answer that question for Melina. And that's within our Bite Bites line, which isn't an Ameo Life product or an Ameo Life. It's one of our new brands. It's a freeze-dried fruit product. But what we've done is we've put 200 milligrams of raw Brazilian camu in this product, which is 12,000 times more powerful than vitamin C. So when we're looking at brain fuel, it would be in the Bite Bites line that I go towards. Just because we don't have that brain fuel product in the Ameo Life, and I don't want to say to you, hey, take this when I know the answer that you're going to be really truly looking for is just outside of the Ameo Life line. What was part 2 to that question, Dina?
What she was saying, something that's geared towards those 50 plus, but I like to think that our products are designed for all ages, because brain health is more, do you fix a roof on a rainy day or a day with sunshine? I like to say that's preventative, is we fix a leaky roof on a sunshiny day, not a rainy day, and that's being proactive. So think of it as all the products that we do manufacture here, they're all in that space of being, I don't want to use the word prevent, that's such a bad word in our world, but being proactive with these things now. It doesn't matter the age that you are, Melina.
Yeah, and I would go back, like I say, just outside of the brain question for a second, but just general wellness for all age groups is back to the fulvic, because when we think about our bodies, we think about no matter what age we're at, our bodies are decaying, right? And what can speed up that decay, or what can slow down that decay, or, what can really, I'm going to say, help us stay youthful longer, is we're suffering from a mineral deficiency, right? When we look back, a number of generations, we got the vitamins, the minerals, the essential nutrients in our diet every day through our foods, through our vegetables, through our fruits, and we're just not getting that anymore. And so what we need to do is and this is where we look at Ameo Life and our products is foundational and structural products, is because we're maybe not the fancy, flashy kind of Ferrari looking supplements. We're more of the old work truck, let's say, is the better way to say it, the fire truck kind of thing. It's getting those essential nutrients into the body, those essential compounds in the body that keep the body functioning at its highest level every day. And I'm going to say, keep us in our youthful state as long as we can.
Doug, we have a question from Dr. Alice Holloway, and it's
Hold on one second.
Oh,
Hold on
go
one
ahead.
second, Dana.
Yes.
No, and I just add on to what Doug's saying, and the fulvic makes whatever supplements you're taking, the fulvic helps the cells to become more bioavailable to receive the supplementation as well.
If any, yeah, and just to back that up for a second, I'll just go to the fulvic for a second, because this is an article that's kind of buried within our website. So anybody that's watching and wants to get some more information, if you actually go to our website and go to the fulvic product page, there's a short video there, but this section, what is fulvic acid? And I've got to make this more prominent. But if you click on read more right here, there's a full article here on fulvic minerals. And this, it's not a long article, but the information in this article is really, really solid as to what it does and how it does and what it does to work within our body. So for anybody that's looking for a little bit of further information, we've got that, as well as I've got some different pamphlets that we can email out to you as well. If you feel free to just reach out to myself, Dean, our customer care team, and we'll make sure that those are sent off to you as well.
care@ameolife.com and just ask for the fulvic acid. This is the actual cut sheet, and you can get this in a PDF brochure, and there's wonderful information and citations on here for that matter, the publication and studies that have been done on it. So if any of you guys want that and you're not wanting to venture onto the website, which I do highly recommend, just care@ameolife.com and you should be able to get this here. Yes, Lisa Bendler, that is correct. You can share it with others. Doug, a good question here. Give me a minute. Dr. Alice Holloway, can you see her question there?
I can't.
She's asking, I would be interested in understanding the amount of vitamin B, B12, or vitamin D in the supplements. Those are the supplements that I need more of. So not all of our products have those components to them, but Doug can get a little bit more on that in regards to which products of ours carry those, and then a little bit more detail. So go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, that would be for the vitamin B. I would be going towards our multivitamin, and we've got 50 milligrams of B1, 30 milligrams of B2, 30 milligrams of B3, 50 milligrams of B6, and 500 micrograms of B12 in our, sorry, I don't remember all these off the top of my head all the time, in our multivitamin product. And then there's no B's in the minerals. So that would be going over towards our multivitamin.
What about vitamin D in it, Doug? Because I don't have the bottle in front of me.
B3, we've got 50 milligrams as well.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really well blended multivitamin. We made this in conjunction with another company, and there was a lot of research done on this blend of vitamins that went into this. And this is also a chelated multivitamin. So when we look at our body, as our body actually won't absorb vitamin or minerals without vitamins. So what we've done is we've bonded the vitamins in this to an amino acid so that they'll be absorbed by the cells. And so when we look at a chelated multivitamin, it means it's bonded to an amino acid so that it doesn't just exit through the urine, and it's actually picked up by the cells.
John Raymond has a question for us. And is there anything that we manufacture that's comparable to a blue-green LJ that he drinks? It's a product from Klamath Lake in Oregon.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. And when we look at the LJ, it's back to essential amino acids and vitamins and minerals, which would be right on par with the humic and the fulvic minerals. When we look at growing the algae, and there's another actually really prominent algae farm in just outside of Phoenix, Arizona, where they're doing a very similar research and a very similar plot to the one in Oregon. So when we look at the algae, is they're feeding the algae and then they're harvesting that algae. It's almost a little bit the same like a microgreen kind of operation as far as trying to isolate those vitamins, those minerals, and get them condensed and into the body. So when we think back to the sourcing of the humic and fulvic, and please don't think I'm trying to sell you one over the other, I'm just trying to answer the question honestly here, is it's back to getting those essential vitamins, minerals, amino acids into the body in their purest form. So where there's the algae option, absolutely yes. This is the ancient plant life option. And we've also got, a complete breakdown of all of the vitamins and minerals that are present in the humic fulvic. I haven't seen too many ionic mineral complexes on the market that will be as transparent enough to show a full nutrient breakdown or actually have gone through the process of understanding and breaking that down. So I hope that answers that question, Dr. John.
Thank you for that. And then Beatrice Nieto is asking, what type of B12 is being used?
This is in the B12. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go to this page. I can't read the bottle. I'm getting old and losing my eyesight. So just from a spirit of full transparency, Beatrice, here it will actually, if you can see my screen, it'll come right up here with the form of B12, just because I can't read it even with my glasses on the bottle. So that'll scroll through here in just a couple seconds. Have we got any other questions pending there, Dina?
Not right now. John Raymond said thank you. That helped him very much. Yes. He also had mentioned above in the chat conversation that the products that he uses the most, which it's not a supplement, but we manufacture, I think, hands down, the world's best soap ever, our silver soap. And it's one of his favorite products, and along with the gel. And I'm wondering, Doug, if maybe you can elaborate a little bit on those two products, which I'm pretty sure everyone on this call is actually, I use those products every day. So maybe you
Me
can just
too.
divulge a little more.
So when I was a kid, my mom would always threaten to wash my mouth out with soap if I said something wrong. So let's fast forward here 40 something years. If my mom was going to wash my mouth out with soap today, I'd hope it would be this one. And you know, a couple of years ago, I did a deep dive into our soaps and you know, more so than I ever had before. And into the soap market, for instance, because there's a lot of organic soaps on the market. There's a lot of quote unquote healthy soaps on the market today. But I'll challenge anybody out there to find a more natural soap than this one. Every single ingredient in this soap is an organically based ingredient. And when we think about our body's, you know, biggest organ being our skin, what we put on our skin is so vitally important. And the pH, you know, anybody that's been with us for a long time knows that, you know, we talk about the alkaline structured silver solution, and we want to get, you know, what's coming into our body, you know, in an alkaline state. Well, the opposite is on our skin. In fact, in our skin, we want to have a slight acidic property. So with our silver gel, for instance, you know, our silver liquid that we take internally, and we can use this topically as well, but this is going to be a 7.4 to approximately 7.8 pH alkaline. With our silver gel, we make this slightly acidic because we want to make sure that we're balancing the pH with the delicate balance of the pH on our skin. And we want to make sure that, you know, over the last couple of years, I'm going to say we were really promoted to use hand sanitizers and these kind of products, you know, to keep us safe. The challenge with that is hand sanitizers' number one ingredient is alcohol. Well, alcohol strips the microbiome off our skin, and it's killing all of the good and the bad bacteria on our skin. So it's actually leaving our, you know, our primary defense mechanism defenseless, let's say. So when we look at the silver gel, we manufacture this slightly acidic. We manufacture it in a manner that we're actually not going to harm that delicate microbiome of the skin, so that we're going to be able to nurture the good bacteria, help combat the bad bacteria, and as it's absorbed into the skin, you know, go to work. And, you know, here's just another tidbit, is when we look at skin conditions, and once again, I'm not healing, treating, curing anything here, but when we look at, because a lot of questions that will get coming to us, does this product help with acne? Does this product help with different forms of skin conditions? So let's back that up for a second. The skincare market has taught customers to address skincare problems topically. And what most people actually don't realize is many of the skin conditions that people are suffering from today are actually digestive conditions. And we've all, you know, a lot of us have heard about the microbiome. Leaky gut syndrome, you know, is pretty much a common term in this day and age. But what that is, just for those people that may not understand leaky gut syndrome, it's where I'm going to say the bad bacteria and the toxins have eroded the walls of the digestive system. And over time, bile and these different toxic substances leach themselves out of the gut. They maneuver themselves around the body. They create inflammatory conditions, but in a lot of cases, they'll make themselves out in their way to the skin and create what's, you know, classified as acne and many different skin conditions. So when we're looking to rejuvenate the skin and we're looking to reclaim our body, let's say, the silver solution and the silver gel are an actual fantastic duo for naturally taking care of the skin from the inside out and the outside in, if that makes sense. And we can back that up with the soap as well. So, you know, here's an interesting concept of, here is a natural skincare kit. That's
great.
just something a lot of people have never thought about or considered, you know, when we're thinking about the different usages of these products, or, you know, how do we incorporate them into our daily lifestyles?
Yeah, I think most people, Doug, I mean, some realize, some of them don't, but being that the skin, it's the largest organ on your body, if something's showing up on the skin, like if you get a pimple, that might be a little partially bacterial. Maybe you touched something that was not good and you touched your face and it created a blemish. But most importantly, that's more than the blemish. There's something going on at the gut level that is just manifesting itself on the outside, including conditions like eczema. I hope I said that right. Eczema, dry skin, a lot of those things. So if you go to work on the inside, the outside's actually is going to naturally, and of course, hydration is everything. And then for the topical stuff, when you have those bad days, that gel is, I like to call it the little mighty worker. It just does some mighty things to the skin.
Exactly.
Let's see here. We have something really cool that Cecilia, I'll get to you in a second, but John Raymond says, since the skin is the largest organ of the body, correct, it is also one of the best and often last resorts for the body to rid itself of its toxins that the body hasn't been able to eliminate otherwise. I love that, John. I love that.
So actually, I'm just going to go somewhere with that for a second here too. Is yeast, and this affects men, it affects women, but yeast conditions. And you and I were on a call the other day in regards to this, Dina, but this is something that comes up from time to time. We'll get even the healthiest person that's on the most strict diet and doing everything right, sometimes take the structured silver and break out a couple days later. And they'll phone us and they're like, we're having a bad reaction. What is this that you've given me? Like, you take it back. I don't want it. And we get into it. And this is so effective at cleansing yeast, but yeast is extremely addictive on the body. And it's actually more addictive on the body than cocaine as far as wanting to stay alive. But when yeast wants to make an exit, it's going to make an exit fast and it's going to come through the skin. So if for anybody that's actually, working through a yeast concern, think about the silver. But if anybody's ever taking the silver and you do get a little bit of a rash or you do get a little bit of a yeast infection from that, it's actually not a time to be worried. It's actually a time to celebrate because it shows that it's actually completely effectively chasing that yeast out of the body.
Great information. Beatrice, she's actually an esthetician and she always sends home her acne clients with a bottle of the silver gel. It is the best thing. And some even use a gel for ingrown hairs with fabulous results. I've seen that for some men clients, Beatrice. So Doug, do you want to elaborate on that?
I love what she's doing. just back to what we were saying a couple of seconds ago. And like I say, none of this is ever to sell products. It's just to help point people in the right direction. But just to complement what you're doing there, just consider, on top of the gel, let's go after those skin conditions inside out and then support the skin the most natural way we can.
Awesome. Cecilia, England, she asked the question, how is a gel used to brush teeth?
With a toothpaste or a toothbrush. I'm just kidding. Okay, so first and foremost, use the extra strength gel if you're going to use that for oral care. Don't use the aloe gel. The aloe gel doesn't taste very good. First and foremost. So when we look at this, the gel is a water-based product. So conventionally, when we brush our teeth using toothpaste, we'll put the toothpaste on our toothbrush, we'll run it underwater and get it wet and we'll brush our teeth. Reverse that with the silver gel. Get your mouth wet and then put the gel on your toothpaste on your toothbrush and then brush your teeth with that. And I personally, and I'm not saying for anybody to do this, but I just actually swallow it rather than spit it out the sink because I want to get every benefit of every bit that I can. And so when I look at just my own personal oral hygiene, this is what I do. Is I use the mouthwash every single day. And I actually take it in my mouth and I swoosh it around in my mouth the entire time I'm in the shower in the morning. So whether that's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I keep that in my mouth the entire time I'm in the shower, just so that what we do know is silver needs about 2 minutes to combat bad bacteria and yeast. So I want to keep that active in my mouth as long as I possibly can. And then when I get out of the shower, I actually swallow it. The nice thing is, and then, some people are probably thinking, what the heck, you swallow mouthwash? There's no nefarious ingredients in this mouthwash whatsoever. It's silver, a little bit of xylitol, trace minerals, and peppermint essential oil. So I'm like, why do I want to spit that down the sink? I want to actually get this into my body and get the benefits from it. So I'll use that in the shower, and then I actually will use the silver gel as a toothpaste, and that's my personal oral hygiene on a daily basis.
If I can add, we do have I think we have it on our website, but when it comes to our mouthwash, you know, how many warning labels are on your typical mouthwash on the market? Do not swallow, do not, they recommend, you know, I'm a big supporter of using our mouthwash for kids because a lot of kids have stinky breath, right? And how many don't swallow the mouthwash? Well, then how many these kids spit their mouthwash in the sink and they leave a gross, disgusting sink. You don't have to worry about that slimy saliva looking sink if your child is swallowing our mouthwash, and it's not going to affect them in a negative way. So I have a lot of holistic dentists who use it in their practice, and for those kids who are not brushing their teeth, and I'm not saying not to, but there are kids out there who don't do that, the mouthwash is a great supplement to their oral care.
Completely.
And Lisa, we had some other, Lisa Strength, great question. I actually like this. Lisa Strength is saying, Strength, forgive me, is taking your multivitamin and the humic and the fulvic minerals plus the silver plus the humic drops overkill. Is it too much? That's a lot.
So I'm going to speak for myself and my daily personal regimen is, so the silver, and let's just break this apart product by product, because I think that's probably the easiest way to answer it. So the silver doesn't offer any form of supplementation or mineralization, first and foremost. The other interesting thing with the silver is it doesn't metabolize in the body, which means it's not going to put in any additional workload on the digestive system. Think of the silver as the cleanser. The silver is naturally going to cleanse yeast, bacteria, fungus, and mold from the body. So the silver is the cleansing agent. But when we look at our body on a daily basis, you know, just as we exit our houses every day, or we live, somebody's got me. Just a second.
It's the 76541 number.
There we go. So our bodies every day are you know, under attack, let's say, from pathogens. So to keep our body, you know, and our immune system, let's say, functioning at its highest level, this is where the silver comes in to play. Okay. The humic and fulvic minerals, I take both of these every day myself. Because what I want is I want that added mineralization. I want that added cellular rebuilding. I want that detoxification, and I want to pull those toxins from my cells, and I want to continually rebuild healthy cells. So that's where this comes into play. I myself personally don't take the multivitamin on a daily basis. I'll take this for a couple of weeks, and then I'll go off it for a couple of weeks. I'll take it for a couple of weeks. Just me, myself, I find that I get a good blend with these right here. And then the other thing that I do take every single day is I take the probiotic like clockwork every day. So that's my personal health regimen. And the same with the silver is I'll take the silver maybe a week a month myself. Because I'm also taking the mouthwash every morning. So I'm getting a lot of the effects of the silver with the mouthwash by swallowing that. The difference, you know, the mouthwash is a 10 part per million, whereas the silver is a 30 part per million. So that's just sort of how I run my natural health regimen on a daily basis.
Let's see here. John Raymond says, be careful with other mouthwashes that kill 99.99% of all bacteria because there is a huge connection to low nitric oxide levels in the body, which result in a lot of health issues, especially erectile dysfunction. So thank you, John Raymond, for that.
And that's actually just to follow up with what John is saying there too, Dina, is it goes back to the skincare discussion we were having a few minutes ago in regards to the fairly alcohol heavy hand sanitizers that were being used. It's exactly the same thing that we're thinking about in the oral cavity as we're thinking about on the skin, is the mouth washes will promote, you know, 99% killing of viruses and bad bacterias. We've got to be very careful. And this is where, when we're looking at the products that we're doing and how we do this, that we're able to offer the body supplementation, nourishment, and cleansing without interrupting the body's biome, right? And it's the alcohols, it's the ingredients in these products that that are so destructive, and they leave our body open for attack. So 100% agree with what John is saying there. And then looking at how do we take that approach to, to protect that healthy balance that our body needs.
And if I can add, not to skip too much, but going back to when Lisa asked earlier about, taking too much, like if you all those 26 guests who are on this call today, if you think of your gut as a garden, I always think of the structured alkaline silver. For me, this is just a metaphor, as the water. That's how I look at it. And then everything else is like the healthy fertilizers for the gut. And so they're all complementary to each other. And for the most part, you don't need to take a lot of it either. I mean, I think in a maintenance dose for a silver, I think it's 2 teaspoons in the morning that you take. And then with the other stuff, there's a few drops here and there. So just think of it that way. Just think of your gut as a garden. Think of your alkaline structured silver as your water. And then think of the other products as your like fertilizers to keep that gut in homeostasis, which means balance in your system.
For sure. And when we're talking about pure natural forms of supplementation, the body's going to use what it needs, and it's actually going to spit out what it doesn't. So it's not like that we're going to overdose on these products. We're going to get to a point where the body's like, hey, this is all I need. I don't need any more. So it's just going to go down the waste system. So we want to gauge just to make sure that we're not flushing our supplements down the toilet.
Cecilia England makes a comment, and then I'll kind of respond to it, and then you can as well, Doug. She says, please make a mint gel. Well, the thing is, by not making a mint gel, peppermint, as we know, is an astringent. It's pretty powerful. And imagine putting peppermint in a gel on your skin. That might be a little rough, right? But if you're thinking of making a mint gel in terms of oral health, I've actually put a drop of peppermint oil with my extra strength gel to brush my teeth. I've done that. And then that kind of leads the way, or, maybe down the road, we'll think of creating a toothpaste. It's not in the works right now, but back to that, Cecilia, it's something that you can do, because I can't see putting peppermint on the skin, because that would be really, really bad.
Yeah, and that would more fall in line that, we've looked at it before, and we've formulated a few different samples. I've got some here somewhere. I've got deodorants and all sorts of different things that we've got in various different stages in the tickle trunk. Let's say, deodorant and another purifier and, a toothpaste here. The hard thing is just in full honesty, is when we get into making a lot of these different kinds of products from a formulation standpoint, and we were talking about our ingredients decks earlier, and making sure that we're giving the body, the purest ingredients bar none, is when you get into making a lot of these different products, it's really hard to find bases and formulations or work within a manner of not getting chemicals. So I would personally rather not bring a product to market than bring a product that has the chemicals and the things we're trying to stay away from. So when I look at the gel, for instance, okay, it may not have any flavor, but at least I know it's doing the job, and I'm not introducing anything into my body that I don't want to get into my body.
Great. And let's see here. Yes, Cecilia said not for the skin. Correct. I wouldn't use peppermint on the skin, Cecilia, but I guess, there was discussion earlier about using the gel as a toothpaste, is a gel. And then Margot Brown asked, is the gel okay to swallow? I've swallowed it before, but I'm not, just like toothpaste, you're not really swallowing toothpaste per se. You're just using it to brush the surfaces of your teeth, and then you're rinsing and spitting out.
There's no harmful ingredients in the gel. Everything is a food grade ingredient. So it's not going to create any harm to swallow that whatsoever. And in a lot of cases, you know, when we get to the gel and we start talking about yeast conditions, and you know, we've worked with, I can't even count on how many women we've worked with you know, yeast conditions and a lot of these things happening in the sensitive areas in the body, where they're using the gel to help in that area too, which is actually, you know, that part of the body, let's think, is even a more sensitive area than our mouth, you know, as far as how we feel there. So, you know, safe, yes. Any harmful ingredients, none whatsoever.
That's great. And Margot says it's amazing to know this. And that's really why we do these calls, because a lot of the times, you know, you don't know something. And the more you know, the more you're empowered, the more you're inclined to, you know, share it with someone else. So, Steve has a great question. I like it. I like his question a lot. Steve asked this question, Doug. He says, how far away from eating can I take the silver? How about when I drink coffee?
It actually has no bearing on food whatsoever. The only thing that I'll preface that with is if somebody's eating a very salty meal or a very salty diet, space out from food with salt, because salt will actually interfere with the structured water molecules, you know, if we look at salt and water. So when we're looking at getting silver, you know, delivered and dispersed throughout the body, if you're going to have a real salty meal, just maybe think about taking it, you know, 20 minutes before or 2 hours after your meal. But other than that, fully not a problem to take with food, because it's not a digested supplement. When we look at multivitamins and probiotics and anything else that needs to pass through the digestive system, then we want to think about that in relationship to food. Where silver goes in, silver is essentially bypassing the digestive system. It's distributing itself throughout the body. So it's a non-metabolized substance that goes into the body.
That's a great response. And I'd recommend, you know, my thought on that, because I'm an occasional coffee drinker now, is that think about this for a split second. You know, coffee is acidic, and the whole idea is to keep the body in an alkaline state, because cancer cannot exist in an alkaline state. But I'm a coffee drinker, and so are billions of other people. And like Doug had shared earlier, Steve Johnson, as we all know, I mean, I know I have a lot of coffee lovers on this on the Zoom, but you know, I always think of adding the humic, which is a black liquid that we carry, adding that to remineralize the body. Because coffee has its own little detriment on the human body, including leaching minerals from our bones. That is a fact. You can go out and read that. But remineralizing your coffee with our humic would be a great suggestion. That's all I'm going to say.
I was almost thinking the other day of rebranding this product as a coffee enhancer. And there's, you know, when we look at the keto diets and we look at everything, you know, and people are looking for ways to enhance their coffee, to make their coffee, you know, more healthy. This is actually one of the best things that we can add to our coffee. You know, it's black to begin with. So when we put this in water, you know, it turns our water black, and people kind of freak out and go, "Ooh, I don't know if I really want to take that." Whereas if we put it in coffee, it masks that black color. It's, if you drink your coffee, you know, without any additives to it, it actually really smoothens out the flavor to the coffee. Plus, we're getting those 65 trace minerals and amino acids and electrolytes into our coffee. So what a better way to start the morning if you're a coffee drinker than adding that to it.
Thank you. Cecilia England asked, does that mean baking soda messes with the silver structure?
No, not necessarily, because baking soda is actually an alkalizing property as well. So a lot of people will actually use baking soda and water to help make water alkaline.
Awesome. Lynn Martinez has a great little story, and thank you, Lynn. You made me smile when I read that. She's saying, the gel and the silver have eradicated infection. I have had an infection on and off for quite some time, and drinking the silver and using the gel in the private area have worked for me. No antibiotics, and the infection is gone. Thank you, Ameo Life, for all that you do. You have my heart. You have my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And we're happy that we can be a part of that journey with you as well.
You know, and if I can recommend to anybody who's on the call today, you know, if you ever have something positive to say about our company, by all means, send that message to us or leave us a positive review, because we can't make up any of the stories that are sent to us or just make them up for any purpose. They're real stories from real people like Lynn Martinez. So if you want to share something, Lynn, you're more than welcome to leave us a review at ameolife.com. We got some more stuff. Well, people are okay. Nicole Forcier, should I stay away from liquids when I take the silver liquid? Would it water the product down?
No, that it's completely okay. If anything, we really want to promote good hydration with the silver. You know, stay away from sugary liquids, you know, stay away from liquids that aren't doing the body any benefit. But silver needs good hydration to move it around the body, as well to help flush the toxins out of the body. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're drinking our 2 to 3 liters of water a day in conjunction with taking the silver. So absolutely prime hydration.
And then thank you, Lynn. We appreciate that. And Melina says, great information tonight. I'm about to order more product. Thank you. You're welcome. And then Margot, will this recording be available to us? Will you be doing this again? Yes to both of those questions. Doug, go ahead and elaborate on that.
Yeah, so yes to both of those. If anybody gets, you know, our weekly newsletters that I send out every Thursday, and then again on Tuesday, this Thursday's email will have a link to this. I'll upload this onto YouTube afterwards, probably tomorrow. So this will be available for anybody. And as far as doing this again, it's kind of driven by you, everybody that's here. If we're finding this information good and we want to do more and tear into different subjects, 100%. Like, I would much rather spend my time doing this in the evening than anything else I can think of other than playing my guitar. But yeah, no, this is what we're here for. And I just wish that we could do this all day, every day, because this is the only way that we're going to get the message out there, be able to educate people. And like I say, I truthfully don't want people to think that we're doing this from a buy my product standpoint. That's not what this is about. This is how do we answer the questions that people have, not only in regards to these products, but other products and just health in general. And, just to keep this conversation safe, of course, there's things I can and cannot say, but I want to just make sure that the information that we're bringing forth is honest and hopefully information that you're not getting elsewhere, as far as just kind of digging deep into the questions and then, the response to those questions.
So what I'm going to say to everyone, just really quickly, is a few things. On the website, I highly, highly recommend to anyone who's here. If you can't make the call, the website is a dictionary of information. It just takes a very curious mind to explore, clicking links and reading up. You can click on a tab called Learn and Engage, which is the tab we've been on tonight here that Doug is showing. How to use the products, and each product will show up there and you can see all the many uses of our products. So I highly recommend doing that. We also have care@ameolife.com where you can send your questions to. And one thing, Doug, these calls are not meant for sales by any means, but I am going to say this really quick. We got a mixture of retail customers here and wholesale clients on this call tonight. And the best thing that when people want to express gratitude to us as a company, it's just simply sharing the products with others. And we do have a wonderful affiliate program that some people know about, some people don't. If you go to our website, you can sign up to earn something.
Right here.
And sign up, because guess what? It's our way of saying thank you, because you're going to share it with your cousin in New York and a best friend in California or a sister in Hawaii. And it gives you an opportunity to impact a life. Again, this is not in any way a sales call, but I do want to say that because some of you don't know that this is an option. If you believe in the products, you have personal experience, the best thing you can do is just share the love of what you do here. So I have to share that.
Yeah, and we're here because we want to make a difference. And there's just a lot of conflicting information in the supplement space. And then, we can get into different theme conversations as well. I've been doing quite a few different podcasts and stuff lately where we've been really taking deep dives into the supplement industry and how they're made. But it gets quite interesting when we start to look at, these things in a whole. And this isn't to demonize anybody or any companies or anything, but it's just the more that we can know and the more that we can know together and be able to discuss these things, the better off that we're going to be in our own personal health. And, just because I sit here on this side of the screen as a part of a supplement company doesn't mean that I'm not doing everything, I can in my personal health every day and trying to make it better and overcome obstacles as well. So, we're living in a real funny time and a real funny day and age right now where, our world's different now than it was a few years ago. And, we're seeing the rising price of products, and we're seeing, our household incomes go less further every month. So, a lot of people will kind of scrutinize us and say, you're always running promotions, you're always doing this, you're always running, these different things and I'm like, yeah, like we're here to service people, and we're here to make sure that we're doing our part to be able to, stay in their homes through everything that's going on in the world right now. So for those of you that, that get my emails on a weekly basis and seeing us doing promotions and stuff all the time, please know that that's coming from a place of sincerity in our hearts to make sure that we're wanting to do everything that we can to support your families and their health, and understanding ourselves, like I say, that the paychecks don't go as far as they used to. And, we're having to make tough decisions, in the foods that we buy and just how we manage our households every day. So we want to make sure that we're always able to be here to serve you as we can, and that everything, comes from a place of caring and understanding.
Absolutely. I think one last question, Doug, and then we're hitting towards 6:17. I mean,
Okay.
we kind of have fun with these calls because people have questions and we want to be able to answer them. But Lisa asked, is the affiliate program for wholesalers? So you just have to understand they're very distinct programs, but you can participate, and then you can email me directly and I can put you in contact with Rhea Primrose, who can tell you more about that program, Lisa Bendler.
Yeah.
And then Beatrice is giving some love, saying our newsletters are very valuable. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's take two more questions, if that's okay. If anybody has another question, then we'll let everybody go for the evening. And thanks everybody for being a part of this. But if anybody has any other questions, let's just take a couple more and we can all get back to our families
Well, somebody just asked, so what are these bite bites?
Oh.
We probably have I mean, that's a whole nother.
Okay, so this is actually, this is
Yeah.
probably a great way to end the call. So we've got Ameo Life, which we've been talking about for the last hour and a half. One of the new projects that we launched, and we were working on this for 2 years, is we looked at bringing out a gummy supplement. And don't show that one. This is the finished product. So we looked at bringing out a gummy supplement. I went to every single gummy manufacturer on the planet and I said, show me your cleanest blend for gummies. And I was absolutely appalled that even the cleanest, most organic gummies still contained carnauba waxes and just gross ingredients. The other side to it is when I really wanted to get into custom formulating gummies, I couldn't get enough raw material into a gummy to make a difference. So when we look at, vitamins and probiotics and any other form of supplementation, the amount of material that you put into a supplement has to meet a daily serving requirement, or you're just not getting enough of that nutraceutical component to make a difference. So in a gummy, there just isn't enough headspace to get enough nutraceutical component to make a difference in the body. And I got so turned off by the gummy industry that, and we can get into this deeper. I'm just going to keep this as quick as I can, that it's just like, got to go a different direction. So what we did is we worked to create the first freeze-dried fruit supplement on the market. This is the one, the only on the market today. I'm going to say we're the pioneers of this. And it's a product that we've called Vite Bites. And what it is, it's a freeze-dried fruit supplement that, you know, the shape that we've taken is a little half moon, if you can see that. But what this is it's 100% just fruit, freeze-dried fruit that we put into a slurry, and we add the nutraceutical components to it, and then straight nutraceutical. And what I've done is we've incorporated camu, which is a fruit that comes out of Brazil, that's when it's dried, it's 12,000 times more powerful than vitamin C. We've got biotin, we've got the, you know, vitamin D3, B6, B12. We've put some zinc into this as well as some fulvic. So this is our immune support, and we've got a multivitamin, and we've got a kids multi coming out here shortly. But this is something that we're really excited about. It's not to take us away from Ameo Life and what we're doing there. This is a completely new project for us. But like I say, this is really going to make a difference in the supplement industry as well, in a whole different direction.
Thank you. I put the website link so people can explore that page. It is a separate company, but it is our company. And if you guys have any questions, there's a contact us link there, and there's an active promotion for retail right now. So by all means, take a look. When is the kids version coming out? Let's see who's asking.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. It should be
2
ready.
weeks.
Yeah.
Beatrice, no gummies. I know many people think it's a gummy, but it's not a gummy, and it's not a candy for that matter. It reminds me of like a little cereal piece that dissolves in the mouth. It has great flavor, and it's sublingual, and there's a ton of powerful ingredients in there. You'd actually have to take 20 gummies just to get what you would get in 2 Vite Bites.
Yeah, it's an exciting project. It's been fun. I've lost a lot of hair over the last 2 years in the development and research and making these, because we think we'd have it and then something would break. We think so. When you're the first to develop a new technology, it's an absolute pain in the butt, because you've got to go through all of the learning through everything, you know, from start to finish, to, you know, to get a product that's actually ready to go from concept, you know, to the market. And working with pure, you know, there's a reason why a lot of companies work with chemical ingredients, because they're very easy, they're very consistent. When you're working with raw active ingredients, raw active fruits, they can go in so many different directions on you very quickly. So to get something to work and then work consistently over and over and over again, that's ready, you know, to be able to be sent to people's homes. Yeah, it's been one heck of a ride to get here.
Well, that was a great way to end with a bang, Doug. And I did put the website link there, and I give them to my grandkids and they love them. Awesome. So yeah, I wanted to say personally, I want to say thank you. I love when you guys ask questions. Because we have the answers. Don't ever assume, you know, we're just here. We're not here for no reason. We're here with a purpose, and we're here to serve you all. We couldn't be here without all of you. So thank you. And Doug, if you want any final words, and then we can disconnect.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I hope this was valuable, and I hope it was worth, you know, taking the time from whatever you were doing to be here. We'll do this again. And like I say, I'm always reachable, available, as well as Dina, the customer care team. So come at us anytime with the questions, and just thank you so much for supporting us and just being here and being a part of the family.
One more. Let's see here. I'm putting the emails if anybody wants to capture those. It's pretty easy to get a hold of us.